Hello everyone and welcome to my vlog. So basically, you asked for it, now you got it. And with me here right now is Amalia Mayari
Hi.
from Cebu Pacific. As you all remember, she is the flight attendant who we featured way back. She stands at 5'1".
5'1", yeah.
5'1", but here she is. She is a successful flight attendant of Cebu Pacific now. And this is not only your first time you became a
Yeah.
flight attendant.
Yes, well, I was a flight attendant as well for Philippine Airlines Express for, I believe, 2 years prior
Yes.
to Cebu Pacific. Yeah.
So that means, okay, sa mga nagsasabi, oh, chamba-chamba lang yan. No, she did it twice.
Yes.
So it only means that, you have the qualities that airlines look for in flight attendants.
Yes.
And they saw something really in you. But you know what, I'll be honest with you. The way how I talk to you right now, kita ko confident ka eh.
Okay.
And you can engage well, you talk well with the people.
Yeah.
And the way how you express yourself, kita ko naman eh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, during my interviews, I actually noticed this, and I actually really enjoy job interviews. Like, a lot of people find it like really like stressful, but my job interview, especially like with Cebu Pacific, it was just like a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, we were just talking.
So that means that you can really engage well.
I suppose, yeah.
I suppose also. Because the way how I talk to you right now, we would talk
Yeah.
off the cam and all.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, okay, no wonder why she was accepted by Cebu Pacific.
Yeah.
And also PAL Express. But could you share us your story of how you became a flight attendant? I mean, yes, people say, oh, you're 5'1", you're below
Yeah.
the minimum height. But kung basically, challenge mo yung status quo and who
Yeah.
you are right now. So can you share us
Okay.
your story?
So, from the very beginning, okay, so my mother was a flight attendant. Okay, so my mother was a flight attendant for 8 to 9 years in Saudi. And she was also under the height requirement.
Yeah.
She was 5'2". She's a bit taller than me, but yeah, she was 5'2" and she has scoliosis. And she is not fluent in English. So, she became a flight attendant, not just for, for Saudi, yes, but she was also accepted in Philippine Airlines prior to Saudi, but she chose Saudi. And then, she resigned when I was about a year old. But, like, when you become a flight attendant, it kind of is like a bug that bites you
Yeah.
that never disappears.
Yes.
So, she would always talk about it. And, like, in the house, we would have a lot of stuff from, like, different countries she's
Yeah.
been. Mostly Egypt, because she was always in Egypt. But she would always tell me, oh, I got this, like, on a layover. I got this, like, in a ground stop, blah, blah, blah. And, like, she would always tell me, you should try. Like, you should try. So, like, growing up, talaga, like, that was something that was kind of like in my vicinity, like influenced, that this was something that was possible, that I could do. But of course, I think when I got older, I would tell people that I wanted to be a flight attendant. People would tell me that, your height.
Yes,
your,
yes.
your height. Because even like if you're a kid, like, of course you're small because you're a kid, you're still growing. But people kind of notice that I'm short even as a kid. Because like even among like the other kids at school, I was always the shortest.
Yeah.
So everyone would always be like, okay, that's a good dream, but like, do you have anything else? Do you also want to do something else like that? And it started like getting to me, I think, when I entered college. I stopped talking about it. Like, when I was in high school, I was still like saying that I wanted to be a flight attendant. But when I entered college, I just threw it away. Like, and like I guess that's like really bad because like I let go of the dream.
Yeah.
Like, I let it go because I was like, oh, it's not possible. It's not going to happen. But my mom did not. Like, my mom did not let it go. Like, I would be like studying, and then like she would get my hand, and then she would start massaging my hand, and I was like, what are you doing? And she would be like, your arms have to be longer so that you have reach.
Yeah, yung arm reach, right?
Yeah, she would always be like, I would just be writing or like typing something,
yeah.
and then she would get my hand and start massaging and just like stretching it out.
Correct,
Then
correct.
she would be like, "You need arm reach. You need arm reach. You should try. You should like at least try." And I would be like she's kind of crazy, you know? Because I would think like she's crazy. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. Yeah. And then when I got to like my senior year of college, I wanted to get a job in college. So I was like looking for what I could do like after. And admittedly, like, cause my course in college was interdisciplinary studies. I studied in Ateneo with tracks in theater arts and communication. And although I love theater and stuff like that, there's not a lot of things you can do after.
Yes.
Or I mean there is, but like it's kind of difficult. So I was like just scrolling through Instagram, and you know like how Instagram has ads.
Yes, yes.
I got an ad that Philippine Airlines was hiring. So I was like, it's like kind of like sparked something. I was like,
Parang, uy, eto na. Sige,
yeah,
game.
yeah, like something like that. But then I was like, it's not going to happen. But then also like, I might as well try it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because like nothing is going to like disappear from me. So I decided that was a walk-in. That was the first time I applied for any airline.
Yeah.
I think I just turned 20 at that time. So I think that was the week after my finals week. I walked in Nichols
Yeah.
here, Andrew's again. I walked in and I was not prepared at all. I
Okay.
did not know how. I did not do research. Like
You had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea how it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Because I did not do research. Like of course, like a lot of aspirants, they would like look at vlogs.
Yes,
they would see
of
how it
course.
works and stuff like that. I did not. I just thought there was going to be a regular job interview, and I basically went there just to get like rejected.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was thinking that I'm never going to like think about what if. Like I'm gonna I'm gonna constantly think about what if I never try.
Yeah.
So I might as well try, get rejected, and then be like, oh, at least I tried.
Yeah,
Like, at
of
least
course,
I tried.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
at least I tried. I got rejected, but like, you know, at least I tried. So like I walk in, and I was very surprised that when I was because like you know how like you stand in front and then like you introduce yourself and stuff like that. I was very surprised when they did not call my name. Because like they called everyone's name to like face the panel except for me, and I was thinking like, oh, I didn't get in. Like everyone else got in, but like I didn't. And like they made everyone else leave, and I was like, that was when I got really like,
oh my God, this is it.
Something is happening. Like
Yes.
something is happening, and I was like, of course, like I did theater, so I'm like confident speaking in front of people. But that moment, like everything like just drained. So like when I was talking to the panel, I was very nervous. Like I was very like clammy, and they actually noticed. They said, "Are you cold?" Like one of the panelists asked me, "Are you cold or are you just nervous?" Because like you seem like really pale and like shaking, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm just nervous." Like, I didn't.
And
think,
excited, maybe.
Yeah, like I didn't think I would get this far. But even then, I was also thinking that it wasn't going to happen for me.
Yeah.
Because during that interview, I think now it's different, like the process is different. But during that time, it was the interview first before the height check.
Yes.
So I was thinking that this is as far as I'm going. This is as far as I'm gonna get. Because once they check my height, nothing. Like it's all going in.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I might as well just like make them hinayang. Like, oh yeah, like oh she could have been, but she wasn't told. You know.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's just my goal now. Like that's the best that I can do at this point. So they passed me. So I passed the interview, and like they send me to get my height check. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Bahala na.
yeah, that's as far as I get. And like when I get my height check, the nurse that was like checking my height, she goes like, okay, yeah, pull up my height. You're like 5'1.5".
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it was a good run.
Yes.
At least like I know that like I have what it takes.
Yeah.
It's just like my height. And then she makes me do a reach test.
Okay.
And she was like, okay, stand on that wall and like reach that tape up there. And kailangan maabot mo yun.
Yeah.
So I reach it. And like the tape goes down to here. So
You were
yeah.
above.
So basically I was able to reach it. And then I go back. She gives me like this paper and then she staples it. And then I go back to the panel and I give it to her. And then like one of them like opens it. And like he looks at it and then he starts looking at the others. Like they're like looking at each other and I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, okay, yeah, that's it. I'm done. But then like they send me to have like my exam.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there's like a math and grammar exam.
Yeah.
And I do that. And like they tell me that they'll update me. And I was not expecting an update. Like I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Like I just got past today. And then I think the week after or like a few days after, I received a text that they were inviting me for a panel interview. And I was like, oh, okay. Like an executive panel interview. I was like, okay. So I go, of course. I have the panel interview. And then the panel interview is, it's the one that's like exactly like a job interview.
Yeah.
So there, like I passed that, I guess. And then they tell me that they're gonna update me and then meet the president after that. And even at this point, I was still thinking that it's not going to happen for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
parang everything was just happening one
Yeah.
moment at a time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you were expecting like, okay, if I'm gonna make it here, maybe the next round, or something like that. But you still went on, right?
Yes.
And before we continue, we are here right now, the Topflite Academy here at the Salem Complex. For those who want to become pilots, please to come by Topflite Academy here. It's located at the Salem Complex, Domestic Road, Pasay City. And their home base is at the Legazpi Airport, alright? So, to all pilot aspirants, check out Topflite Academy. You can find them on Facebook, Topflite Academy, and their website, topfliteacademy.com, right? So, you know what, Malia, I with your story, with how you shared everything, for me, parang you're meant really to fly.
Oh, okay.
You're really meant to fly. I mean, yeah, you had the arm reach.
Yes. Actually, fun fact, my first flight ever in my life,
Yeah.
I was a newborn baby. I think I don't know if I was 19 days old or 19 months
Yeah.
old. So yeah, that was my first time ever. So it was really like, I feel like it's really like in my blood.
It's meant. You're meant.
And my first flight ever was Cebu Pacific. Cebu.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
You were 19 weeks.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was 19 weeks or
Yeah.
19 days.
19 days.
Yeah, but I remember I was like fresh and
All right. So her first flight was in Cebu Pacific and 19 days. Cebu Pacific opened in 1998, FYI. So I guess you can guess her age already, how young she is. All right, 19 weeks, Cebu Pacific. That airline opened 1998.
yes.
So that's when I was listening to your story, I was reminded actually by those people who would discourage others.
Oh yes.
Who would tell others that no, you don't have the chance to fly. No, because you don't reach that requirement. But you know what? You proved this wrong.
Yes.
That no one has the right to discourage.
Yes, definitely.
And if you're being discouraged, you also have the right not to listen.
Yeah.
To just go on and to push. Now with Cebu Pacific. You're now here with Cebu Pacific. The very first airline that you flew with.
Yes.
19 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, how did the story go in Cebu Pacific?
Well, obviously I was retrenched
Yeah.
from the previous airline, and I just believe that when I got retrenched, I believed that was it for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, people were telling me, like, okay, here's the thing, I don't really care what people think of me.
Yeah.
But there comes a certain point where it starts affecting me. So I believe that when I got retrenched, I was never going to be able to enter another airline because of my height. I remember, like, I was in Cebu based, and I got the news that I was retrenched. flying during the pandemic, but she was flying for, I believe, like 2 or 3 months for Saudi, and then she
Yeah.
got retrenched. And then, but she got called back, I think a month or so after. So, I was calling her and I was telling her that like, I got retrenched, and I was like really, obviously I was really upset. I was
Yeah.
crying and stuff like that. And then she told me, "You're gonna get called back because I was called back."
Yeah.
And I was under height requirement and I have scoliosis. I'm not fluent in English, stuff like that. You're a lot better than me, she was telling me. So you still have, and even if it's not there, you're gonna have more opportunity.
Yeah.
But like I was like super upset, so I was telling her no, like no, like that's not going to happen. And then she was like, fine. I was like, I'm not tall. Like I was like, I'm not tall. It's not going to happen anymore. Like this was a one-time thing. Like I felt like it was a one-time thing that now is like gone.
Yeah.
And then she was telling me like there are airlines that don't check height. They check reach, and we know that you have reach.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I went back to Manila, and I was doing a lot of odd jobs. I was teaching English. I was working in politics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think sometime a couple months ago, like you could see that the airline industry was slowly getting better.
Yes.
So there were hirings suddenly, and I was thinking if I was going to try. So I sent an application to Cebu Pacific,
Yeah.
and I also walked in to 2 other airlines. There were 2 other airlines that had an open day. I was rejected from both of them
Yeah.
because of my height.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, because for those, the height check was before the interview.
The interview,
so
yeah.
When they did the height check, I was immediately sent home. So that was what I was telling my best friend. I told my best friend, like, girl, I know that if I get past the height check, I can get in.
Yeah.
Like, this was, it was basically like proven at this point that
Yes.
if my height was overlooked, I would get in.
Yeah.
Because it's really like for all like the airlines that I've applied for, the ones that I was rejected from was when the height check is before the interview. Yeah. So, I think the hiring process of Cebu Pacific, it wasn't open day. It was like you send an email and they invite you
Yes.
to the office. So, they sent me an email inviting me to the office, and then I of course went in. And I like to believe I was more prepared
Yeah.
this time than in Palex, because you know, like I've already been through it. So I went in, and once again, like the interview where there's like 10 of us in front, and I was like wondering at what point they were going to check my height, because I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna like wait for them to check my height, and then like once, like the girl that was interviewing us, she was like, okay, we're going to look for like 5 things, and then she mentions like reach check, and then she mentions like the smile, she mentions all of these things,
Yeah.
and she does not mention anything about height.
Okay.
And then like she turns around, and like that's when she stops talking and she does not mention height. Like I start, like it clicks in me, like I'm getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting
Parking
in.
lane mo na.
Yeah.
Okay, ito na
Yeah,
yan.
like,
Ito na
I'm
yan.
getting in. And I remember during my interview, like the girl next to me was ex-crew from 5J, and we were like talking to each other, and then she was really nice, and then she was like telling me how like nice it is in the airline, in the company. So we have our interview, and 3 of us are asked to stay. Me, the ex-crew from 5J, and there's another girl who was also ex-crew from a different airline.
Yeah.
So there's the 3 of us. So we were like all standing there, and I was wondering, like at this point, I'm like, okay, we're in. But at this point, I was also thinking maybe we're not.
Yeah.
Like maybe the 3 of us are like rejected. I don't know. But yeah, we got in, and then during the reach, actually, I was actually scared when I did the reach, because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to reach it. Like maybe like the one from Palex is a fluke. But like when I was in Palex, like the reach, we were not allowed to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we were not allowed to tiptoe, and I was able to reach it. Here in Cebu Pacific, we were allowed to tiptoe.
What was the reach? 210, right? 210 cm?
In Cebu Pacific, yes, it was I think 210 or 212. I
Okay.
mean that's the standard.
Yeah.
reach. In Palax, I'm not sure, but I think it was a bit lower because we weren't allowed to tiptoe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I was able to reach it. Thankfully, I
Yeah.
was so scared because I thought I wasn't going to reach it. But yeah, I was able to reach it, and then they sent us not to the final interview.
Yeah.
So this was like a 1-day process. So I was waiting for my interview, and we were like talking. I was talking with the 2 other girls, and then we were like joking that we have to be batchmates.
Yeah.
Batchmates dapat tayo. Like, roommates tayo sa same level. So yun, during my interview, we were like laughing. We were like, it was just like a conversation.
Yeah.
And then, and then after the interview, like we waited, and then we got called for the job offer.
Yeah. With all these you mentioned, what do you think is that factor that the airlines love from you? Well, ako personally,
Yeah.
if you'll ask me, I'd say it would be your communication skills.
Yeah.
But what else do you think would be the factor that why airlines love you amidst, yes, the arm reach requirement. Of course, you made it. I mean, no
Yeah.
questions there. Diba?
Yeah.
But when they talk to you, iba na eh.
Yeah.
So ano ba meron sa'yo?
Actually, like, I actually think about that.
Yeah.
Cause I remember someone told me, I think my ALA when I was in Alex,
Yeah.
he told me that I was actually almost rejected during my meet the president interview.
Yes.
He told me, tanggal ka dapat yung meet the president. I was like, why are you telling me this? I remember this was during a regular check, and he was like, ano mo tanggal ka dapat? I was like, you didn't have to tell me that, bro. I could have
Yeah.
lived my whole life without knowing that.
Uh,
And then he goes like, pero hindi ka tinanggal kasi nagustuhan ka.
Yeah.
Kasi you can speak really well.
yes.
So I believe that's really that's really what gets
Yes.
hirers. That I can speak confidently about.
Yes.
And like I think it's also the way I carry myself.
Correct.
I mean, like, I guess I have, like, a secret, actually, not a secret.
A secret
but
is
yes,
no longer a secret.
Yes, I'm actually not that confident.
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually not that confident.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, like, I always tell people this, I actually have a really low self-esteem.
Okay.
But you kind of fake it. Like, you show that it's not, it's not what you show. Because of course, I have a lot of insecurities. Like, a lot of people have a lot of insecurities.
Of course.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yes.
Same here.
Yes, but you kind of just you try not to think about it. Because this kind of sounds like self-absorbed or self-centered. But when when I think like, oh, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not something enough, I would combat those thoughts with, oh,
Yeah.
I'm like the hottest. Like I'm like the
Guys
I'm
take
like,
it from her.
Yeah, like oh, I'm like the best one here, like something
Yeah.
like that. Of course, I'm not gonna say that out loud because
Of course.
that's like super like mean and like a different level now. But
Yeah.
you kind of just think that way, and like soon enough you're gonna act like that.
Yes.
So it kind of helps with the confidence.
Correct. So in other words, fake it until you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Take it from Amalia herself. She said that, project it. Kasi later on, nagmamanifest yun eh.
Yes. Actually, that's something I learned in theater din. Stage presence is very important. And that's actually something that I used when I did my interview in Alex.
Yes.
Because one of my acting professors told me that the best stage presence is you stand on the stage, even if you're off center, even if you're not
Not the
directly
main-
in view, like you're on the side.
Yeah.
You have to be able to command the eyes of the audience.
Yes.
Like you have to be able to scream, "Look at me," without saying it.
Oh, okay.
So you stand there, and even if you're not doing anything, thing, everyone should gravitate to looking at you.
Whoa,
So it's one of the things that helps with that is, like I said, thinking about it. So you
Yes.
stand there and you start screaming in your head, look at me.
Yeah.
And like soon enough you're gonna start like projecting like body language that like commands the eyes of you.
Some of you might be asking, kailangan ba tourism para mag-flight attendant? Do you need to take any particular course? Amalia took theater, and she's now a flight attendant. So ibig sabihin nito, any course will do because every course or every strand has its own advantage.
Yes.
And like hers, since she took up theater, na-develop yung confidence level niya. And here she is right now, amidst her height, you know, nakakapasok sa airline.
Yeah. They actually told me that like even though my height is 5'1", my attitude is 6'4".
Yon.
Yeah.
It's all with the attitude, guys.
Yes.
What are your tips and advice to all aspirants, especially those who feel that, I get kasi a lot of questions, and I think you're the perfect person now to answer this. They say, Sir, Mond, I am 5'1", I am 5 foot flat. Should I still pursue my application as a flight attendant? Or I have a mark here in my face. Mga those questions, parang inuunahan na nila na kailangan ko pa ba i-pursue to? Eh, hindi mo na-about sa qualifications. So, what is your advice to these people?
I think you should still like go for it because you're never going to know until you try it.
Yeah.
Because okay, like for me, I'm 5'1", but I have batchmates
Yes.
in Cebu who are 5 flat. I have a batchmate who's 5 flat, and I have batchmates as well who have like scars here on like their forehead, and it does not take away from how they do the job. So I think you should still try.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter, I feel. I mean, of course, I guess it depends on the hirer, but
Yes.
if you try and you get rejected, then you get rejected. But if you try and you get in,
Yeah.
then it never mattered.
Yes. And malay natin, di ba? I mean, if you get rejected, it becomes a lesson.
Yes.
And for some airlines kasi they don't say kung ano yung problema mo eh.
Yeah.
They just say rejected ka or we cannot accept you.
Yeah.
So it's up to you where to improve.
Yeah.
Diba? And I suggest always go for the whole thing. And yun nga, speaking is also important. You can develop that. I mean, I think they can develop that.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, actually, prior to college, prior to doing theater, I was actually not that great at like talking to people.
Yeah.
I was very shy. Like, I mean, I'm a loud person with like friends, but like with other people, I was not really like confident with talking.
Yeah.
So when I did theater, there was like vocal exercises, tongue twisters, stuff like that. So it really helped.
It helped.
Yeah.
So Amalia, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Okay, thank you.
Kasi you know what, sobrang naging viral yung story mo eh.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
My
I saw
God,
that.
500,000 reach, guys. Because we shared the story of a flight attendant who defied the odds and who challenged the status quo.
Yeah.
And here she is right now in front of you, you know, sharing you that everything is possible. Basta maniwala kayo, do
Yeah.
your best, always improve on
And
yourself.
there's also a quote that like I live by. I forgot who said it, but it's no one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons as well that I try not to care what other people think of me. It's because okay, someone says something about you that like it's like a hate comment or whatever. It's like okay, doesn't make me feel inferior because I don't let it. I mean, of course there's a point where it does, but we
Yeah,
try
of course.
not to.
Yes. Again, fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
Alright. So Amalia, do you have any social media accounts? So like if
Yes.
people want to ask you questions, so you can go promote whatever
Yeah.
you have.
I mean, I'm on Instagram and on TikTok. Like, I mean, I went viral on TikTok during the onset of the pandemic because I posted that I was on there. So yeah, although right now it's mostly cosplay.
Yeah.
It's mostly cosplay, so it's just Amalia Mayari, both Instagram and TikTok. Although on Instagram I have a second account, Amalia Tenido, which is where I post my flying photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also on Facebook, which is just also Amalia Mayari. Yeah.
So in case they have questions, they can just message you.
Yeah. I try to reply. I get messages. Sometimes it's not even questions. Sometimes it's just someone like telling me that they were inspired and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would like try to respond as much as possible.
Si Amalia rin pala, kung mahilig kayo sa costumes, you like
Yeah.
cosplaying, right?
Yeah, I'm a cosplayer. Yeah.
Grabe, I mean, for that kind of costumes, like how much do you guys invest? I mean, out of curiosity lang.
Actually, it depends on the costume.
Ah,
But if you're going to purchase and not make something from scratch, because I've made from scratch, but if you're going to purchase like a store-bought costume, the average is usually around 2,000 to 3,000 pesos.
alright.
Unless it's like from Genshin Impact. Like Genshin Impact is like a game with like lots of props.
Yeah.
And for Genshin Impact cosplays, the average is like 5,000 or 6,000.
For a costume, guys.
Yeah, that doesn't include the wig.
For a costume.
Yeah.
But anyway, you enjoy it. It's your
Yeah,
outlet
it is, yeah.
after a busy day, right?
Yes.
So thank you again, Amalia, for being on this show. And I hope, Amalia's story was able to inspire all of you watching right now. Sana pagpatuloy nyo pa rin yung mga pangarap nyo. Don't allow others to discourage you because as what Amalia said, what's that quote you live by?
No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Correct. So no matter what, you always have the choice also to listen to them or not. If they discourage you, then you have the choice to say, I don't give a... Alright? So thank you everyone for watching, and please do not forget to like and to subscribe to my channel just for you to be aware when I post new videos all about becoming a cabin crew and of course the whole aviation industry. Alright? Thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye and stay tuned for next video. Bye everyone!